Alright guys, I'm going to show you my in-depth review of how my weather radio works. So this is today would be for example, this is a Midland WR100, and get things like Midland, Radio Shack. So anyways, I'm going to show y'all how the weather radio works in case if you didn't know it. So, this is, anyways, let's get started. So, here's the weather radio itself. This is the, so here's the LCD display. It's got like a window around here, and it's got one of the lights. So whatever, like when a light is on, it shoots it right inside there. And this is the buttons. So the user can press the buttons on the weather radios. And so when the button is pressed, then the motherboard, I'm going to show you that later on. And this is the weather snooze button. So whatever, when you press the weather snooze button, it turns the weather radio on. And it's a speaker. This is an L-Wife 8 ohms, 5 watts. And as you can see, and now this is the board. This part right here, it's the mother circuit board, which is called the brain of the whole operation. So, see some wires around here. The wires connect to the speaker, the battery compartment, anything like that. So, this is the pins for the LCD display. So, whatever when the button is pressed, it toggles it, and it triggers it, and it beeps. So you know that the buttons are pressed. So whatever, when the button is triggered and pressed, like if I press the menu button, it will show you all the menus. You can adjust the volume. So this is the weather radio switch. This is how you turn the weather radio on or off. You see, it's in the on position. You flip it off. See, it's off. You flip it, it's on. And this is the white thing. This is for the LCD display. So and over there, this is the lights, the warning, watch, and statement lights. So whatever, one of the lights will light up and indicates when there's an alert coming to your way. So like for example, so whatever, when there's a flash flood warning, then the weather radio will send you a notification, and it turns on the siren. It alerts me. So the sirens go off and it turns on automatically. So I'm going to show you what the lights are. The red light is the warning light. The yellow light is the watch light, and the yellow light is the statement or advisory light. So anyways, so let's go ahead and put this all back together. I'm going to show you. So why are you putting this back together? You have to always be careful when you align the boards, because this battery compartment, it's really soldered. So always, when you put the board back together, always be really careful not to loosen the boards, because not the boards, the wires, because the wires soldered in the battery compartment and the speaker, and of course the board itself. And most of the connectors will have like a plug, like you disconnect them, but on this one it's soldered, so you have to be very careful with these things. Alright, so let's put the weather radio back together. Oh wait, this is the battery compartment. So whatever, when you put the batteries in, it sends power to the battery compartment. So whatever, when the battery is low, then the battery icon in your display lights up, indicating that the battery is too low to use. So anyways, let's go ahead and put this all back together. So while you're putting it back together, always make sure you be careful because that's the end. This is an antenna. The antenna receives signals on the weather radio. So whatever, for best reception, you extend the antenna. So to extend it, you just pull this up. You just pull this. Hold on. Just pull this baby out. It's kind of hard to do it, and that way you would get better signal. So, and to put it back where it was, just push this down, and you lower the antenna down. Boom. All right. So now let's go ahead and put this all back together. So while you're putting it back together, always need to make sure that you have to be careful with one of these because one of the wires have soldered into the board. So you have to be careful with it, with these things. So, and when you put the board back on, you have to make sure the screws are lined up. So when you put the screws back on. Alright, let's go ahead and making sure you have to make sure the board is aligned properly. So now you just need to get Phillips head screws. I think you can see it. See, I don't know you can see it, but there's very tiny screws. But make sure you organize your screws. Let's make sure that the labels on the board out. That's a nice weather radio, isn't it? That's why I've been learning how my weather radios work, in case anybody do not know how it works. Alright, let's see. Alright. So whatever when you put your board back together, always make sure you be careful because one of these wires have soldered. So, and also you have to make sure the board is aligned properly. Alright, so making sure it's lined up properly. Once again, I'm telling you, you have to make sure the board is aligned up properly. Alright, let's make sure that the external antenna is connected. Once I get that, let's put the screws back in. If I can get a screwdriver, there we go. Yep. And remember, there's no need to over-tighten this. If you accidentally over-tighten the screws, don't worry. Yeah, I just like to make it really tight, making sure that the boards doesn't move around. Alright, you have to make sure you organize your screws. There we go. I'm coming.